some other people might show up, but let me see if that's the right screen. I think we're good. In traffic. Yep. All right. So you might know because the memes are pretty dank about that ship, the Ever Given from the Evergreen line. If you, I don't know if I showed you this site before, but there's a couple different sites that track shipping around the world. And one topic in this oceanography course is like the ocean as a resource, and as a resource, we use the ocean for shipping goods around the planet. We have a large global economy where we move all kinds of raw materials, all kinds of finished goods, all kinds of parts. Uh, you know, it's not possible for any one country to have and produce and make all of its own resources. Some countries are heavily dependent upon importing raw materials, oil and gas products, finished goods, whatever. So, and then the Suez Canal is one of the most important shortcuts for shipping route. And here for marine traffic, I've seen some comparisons, but typically ships do not take the long way around Africa, like this long route around Africa to get from East Asia to Europe. But due to that blockage in the Suez Canal, some ships have determined to go um, around the southern tip of Africa here, which is kind of unusual. But good news, I just got a news report, and apparently I haven't looked at it yet. Apparently, the Ever Given has been partially freed, but not entirely freed. And on marine traffic, you can see not only the position of the ship, but what direction it's pointing. So here, for instance, on this ship, if you click on it, it'll tell you what the name of the ship is. So it says ethane sapphire, and it says 1 knot at 257 degrees. So the system which reports the position of the ship not only reports the position as latitude, longitude, which puts the dot on the map, but also reports the speed of the ship and the direction that it's pointing. These ships here are all ships that are waiting to get into the Suez Canal and head toward the south. And then all the ships in this lake here have been caught in the lake. They're trying to head south because the Ever Given is stuck. But here we go. It has moved. So it turns out that the bow of the ship and the stern of the ship were both stuck, and they've freed the stern of the ship. The stern of the ship is the back of the ship, and the stern was caught over in this side of the canal, and the bow was caught on the other side of the canal. And it turns out that they have freed the stern of the ship and have been able to swing the stern of the ship into the space of the canal itself. And this track clearly shows that it, oh wait, it's actually steaming now. That's not it. It's Malda. Yep, it's moving. Okay, they got it free and it's going. So the ship is now free. It's moving at 5.7 knots and moving in a direction of 353 degrees. So they're going. They may be being towed. Let's see, 475743. It may be being guided by these two tugs. So that's a tug and this is a tug. They may have stern and bow lines on the ship. So anyway, that's good news. And then let's see if toward the south there's anything heading in. These are all vessels that are used to, yeah. So I'm not sure what this whole story is. They may not have the canal open yet because in order to remove enough uh, material from the bottom of the canal to get the ship underway, they had to do a dredging operation. And I know that they were moving 20,000 tons per day. And if they had to dump that sand from the edge of the canal into the bottom of the canal may not have enough depth or draft in order to allow additional ships to get through. But it looks like now the Ever Given's on its way. So that's good news. Um, all these ships here are all waiting to head to the north. The other dots we saw are all heading to the south. So a shipping company has to take a gamble. This, depending upon the speed of the ship, it takes approximately an extra week to make it around the southern tip of Africa, and the Ever Given had been stuck for about a week. So if a ship had been, in the Indian Ocean, not quite heading up the Red Sea yet, and they found that the Ever Given was really stuck and might be a long time, they may have diverted and decided to head around Africa to head up to Europe. That's the direction they're heading. The decision is actually much easier if their choice is or if their plan is to head to North America. In fact, you can see a lot of ships already go from East Asia down around Southern Africa and then head toward North America along this path here. There's a whole bunch of ships along that path. But, it costs a lot of extra money in fuel and in time, and it's still not certain when the canal will be completely open once again. But that was better than it could have been. It could have been many weeks, but their hope was to get the traffic open over the weekend, and that didn't happen, I guess, until just now. So this is let's see. All right. So anyway, that's that. We'll see if there's more updates on it, but that's about as exciting as things get in shipping. We're going to look at some other topics in shipping related to currents, because currents in the ocean affect the speed of a boat, the speed of a ship as it transits in the water, and the direction, or the way we know about ocean currents is primarily by studying the times it takes for different ships to get around the world's oceans historically. These days we can measure ocean currents directly, but then also sometimes ships lose their cargo, and that cargo that gets lost gets carried along with the currents to different places in the world's ocean. Okay, so here was the deal. I had planned that we would do some stuff with cutting up pieces of coral this week to do like a coral growth study. Today, I was going to show you today how to do it, and then tomorrow actually do a bunch of it. But it turns out then we ended up going remote. The other thing is, unless you're a remote student who has a textbook, you also don't have a textbook. I kind of hedged that we wouldn't be remote this spring and didn't give you a textbook to take home, so you don't have a book at home. But I am going to get portions of Chapter 5 available and put them in the Chapter 5 folder for you to reference. So the specific parts, I can't like put the whole textbook online. That's not really okay or legal to do. But the specific parts in here that I mentioned about referencing parts of the textbook, let's see, it's toward the end. Yeah, here. So from page 167 and 168, I'm going to scan those in along with other pages that have important information about completing the study guide, and I'll put those in the Schoology folder for Chapter 5. And I'll be able to do that today, and then I'll put a message on the updates saying like the portions of Chapter 5 that you need to work on the review will be in there. And I'd kind of hope that we'd complete Chapter 5 at the end of this marking period. We took a lot longer during the first semester because we were hybrid. So I was kind of hoping we'd get done right at the end of this marking period. But now, because we're remote for 2 days, I don't want to do it right now. So as soon as we come back from Easter, we will do like the coral growth study and do some other chemistry measurements in the water and a couple other things with calcium, so you can understand and literally get your hands on pieces of coral with calcium. And then we'll do a quiz about Chapter 5. So, I mean, that's what I have for you today. I don't have anything new to tell you about, but I did want to go over the thing about the Ever Given. I'll try to find out some more about it and try to find out if they need to remediate the canal, make any repairs to the canal. I know that there was damage done to the ship, and I'll tell you about the dynamics of the ship damage. There was damage done on the bow of the ship, and water came into a compartment. I'm going to try to learn some more about that, and then tell you about those influences, along with the influence that tides have on the height of the water in the canal and how that both helped and hurt the situation with the Ever Given. I don't know. All right, I got you all marked down for attendance. If you don't have any other questions, I don't really have anything else for you today. But if you have questions, you can put them in the chat or you can turn on your mic. Otherwise, keep your Ever Given memes dank.
Can I ask you a question after class?
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, if nobody else has any other questions, you can go, and make sure you check back in tomorrow. So I don't know, Charlie, you can ask him now, or you can put it in the chat, or whatever you want to do. If you want me to throw everybody out.
Oh no, I was just gonna say about so I won't be here when we come back for 2 days because I'm going on a trip.
Okay.
So will I just be missing the quiz, or what will I be missing?
Well, right when we come back, like I mentioned, we're gonna do some work here in the class with like cutting up pieces of coral and mounting coral. I'm gonna make videos of that so you can see how it goes, but that won't really necessarily be on the quiz. That won't be until the end of that week. Let me think. We come back. I think we come back like on a Wednesday, right? And then we have class Thursday, Friday, something like that in 2 weeks
Yeah.
or next week. And then, so it's not going to be until the week after that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So
All right.
I think
And then the other thing was just about the missing grade, because that brought it down by like 20 points or something like that.
yeah, I'll check on that right now. I'm not sure. Let me look. Grade book. Hold on. Let me stop share.
I mean, that was the only thing, because then I had hundreds on everything else.
Sometimes I will find it. Yeah. All right. I fixed it. I mean, sometimes I type 10, but it doesn't take the 1 and it accidentally hits 0. Does that make sense? Like only
Yeah,
say 10.
that's no problem. I was just wondering
All right,
because
yeah, I fixed it, and let's see. Yep, that totally changed your grade totally.
all right.
I
Thank you.
would have caught that like today or tomorrow in fixing the grades and stuff, but it might take a little bit of time before it updates in Power School, but I fixed it.
All right, thank you.
Cool.
Have a nice day.
You too.
See you, Flint.
See ya. Anybody else have questions?